And continuing our special live remote edition of the Schilling Show. Yes, by remote, I mean we're in Texas, in the free state of Texas, and I think there's a lot that can be said about that, a lot for Virginians to learn about what's going on here. And I'm glad to have the opportunity to meet some new people and bring some new ideas to you here at the Defending the American Dream Summit, Americans for Prosperity. Had a chance this morning to talk with Andy Pate, founder of The Party of Choice, and online at thepartyofchoice.com. Andy, welcome to the Schilling Show. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Rob.
Let's talk about the Party of Choice. What is that?
Well, first of all, if you're conservative, you're already in the Party of Choice because conservatism is choice and liberalism is control. And what we do is we help people win arguments a lot more quickly by pointing that out, by drawing a clear line between us and the left and showing how on every single issue the left is invested in control.
You know, that's a very important message, and yet some people would try to pin that on conservatives. And we could talk about, well, you know, you won't let me kill my child in the womb, and so therefore you're anti-choice and I'm pro-choice.
Right. Let's look at it this way. See, conservatives have a real problem right now in America, Rob. Let's say you go to 100 young people. Make it 1,000 young people, and you ask them which of the two political parties, major ones, disapproves of you and wants to tell you how to live your life. What are they going to say?
They'll probably say the Republicans.
Overwhelmingly.
Yes.
Now, because of that, there's a wall between them and us, and that's why they won't listen to all our wonderful talking points on a lot of issues. And by the way, I'll get to abortion here in a moment.
Yeah.
And I am pro-life, strongly. Because of that wall, we come at them with all our talking points, and they don't hear us. All they hear is, you want to control me. You disapprove of me. You want to tell me how to live my life, and so I want you to lose this debate. And they see anybody, Mitt Romney against Barack Obama or whoever, having a debate, instantly they want our side to lose. That is a bad place to start. We in the Party of Choice show you how to change that, turn it around.
All right, so let's get to the actual abortion issue.
You got it.
That is one example that people would say, well, of course, you know, how could you possibly say you're the Party of Choice?
Right. Well, first of all, if I could get every conservative to say one line on any issue and lead with this line, we would, in a few months, change the entire political landscape of this country. And that line is this: I want to control my own life, not yours. And that's what separates me from the left. Now, on the abortion issue or the war on women, they think that you want to control them, right? That you want to take away this choice. And so I always don't lead by coming at them with your talking points. First, take down that wall. Bond with them because you do have some things in common. Then you can get your points. So here's how I lead. I say, you know what? I'm pro-life, but I love the reason you're pro-choice. You don't want the government telling a woman what she can do with her own body. I agree. I want to control my own life, not yours. Now, that throws them off, okay? And they're just like, whoa, what do you mean? But you want to take away my ability? No. Here's what it means to be a conservative in choice. We support every individual choice that doesn't take away someone else's choice. You see, when your choice takes away someone else's choice, that's control. We don't support control, okay? When it comes to the unborn, we simply believe that, I believe that life begins at conception, or at least implantation, real early, okay? And therefore, I don't want one choice to take away that choice to live. Now, if maybe you don't think that life begins until a later stage of development, second or third trimester. And that's fine. We can have that disagreement and we can talk about it. But here's my question. Do I really sound like some guy who hates women? Because you sure don't sound like someone who hates babies. Now, what's happened here in just a few seconds is the wall's down. Now they're willing to listen. Now they're willing to listen to all my neat scientific jargon on why I believe human life starts at an earlier place. I didn't lead with that. First, I took down the wall because I assumed the wall was there. They believe that we conservatives disapprove of them and want to tell them how to live their lives. Remove that wall first, then they can hear you.
Let's talk about some of the other issues where choice is important. And I want to ask you, is this different from a libertarian movement, the Party of Choice, or is it essentially libertarian at the core?
I'm a Republican.
Okay.
a strong Republican.
So I want to ask you, because I noticed by
I like the Libertarians.
Yeah, and I do too. I mean, they come on my show often, but there are definitely some areas of difference with mainstream Republicans,
Sure,
and even mainstream conservatives. So what I want to ask you, I noticed the area code on your business card, and I asked you, and you are from Colorado.
Yep.
And so Colorado now has legalized marijuana in many instances. We hear that,
Right.
there are marijuana soda pops, and there's all kinds of problems. So how does the party of choice come down on, well, hey, I want to ingest marijuana into my body, or any other drug? It doesn't have to stop at marijuana. Where does the party of choice come down on that?
Where we come down on it is, once again, what's our main thing? I want to control my own life, not yours. I support every individual choice. That doesn't take away someone else's choice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you look at drugs, the question is, at what point does a drug, and we have to look at that scientifically, and as a society, but at what point does a drug become strong enough to where it turns somebody into a weapon? I don't use marijuana. I don't actually use any drugs. I don't even drink. But with marijuana, I haven't seen it turn anybody into a weapon. Okay? But I got to be honest. I'm no expert on marijuana. I'm really concerned about these. Marijuana today, I believe, has much higher THC levels. It's much more dangerous than the stuff that was going around in the 60s. Here's what really angers me about the people who want it legalized. Not that I have a problem with legalizing marijuana. I don't care about that. My problem is this. They're anti-information. They make this the biggest cause in the world when we're $17 trillion in debt. They don't want anyone to look at what the THC levels are now. They don't want anyone to look at what it does to your body. They just want their freedom. I look at them and say, whoa, the second you become anti-information, you become anti-freedom. Don't shut down information. Listen to all sides. And that's really my biggest problem. Do I have a problem with legalizing it? I don't really care either way. I have a problem with it being important to them.
I always go back to John Adams when he said that the Constitution was meant only for moral and religious people. And I think a lot of these problems are based in the fact that people have gotten away from that, and that in many instances they're not making decisions from a moral or a religious standpoint. Do you see the same issue here? Because I think many of these things are solved if people actually are standing on the faith of our founders.
Well, I agree. First of all, this nation was set up as a Christian nation. I am a born-again Christian. I was raised as, by the way, a left-wing atheist, hardcore. So, but the problem is this. The thing that people forget is this. Christianity is a religion of choice and reward and consequence. You choose and you bear your own rewards and consequences in life, right? That started in the Garden of Eden. I won't go into that. It takes a while. But liberalism is an assault on that whole system. They try to lower the rewards of good choices, lower the consequences of bad choices, or remove choices altogether. Christianity doesn't do that. There is no Christian jihad. At no time did Jesus and the apostles ever try to make non-Christians live like Christians. Okay? But they didn't want to be silenced either. They would freely tell them, but I think this is bad for you, this is bad for you, this is bad for you. And here's why. We today need to offer and model our faith. When we try to control people with it, control their choices, we hurt our faith. People, what I mean is we hurt our message. They look at us and they see us like jihadis. And what I say is this, look, your faith sells a lot better than you think. You don't have to do that. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Thepartyofchoice.com. Let's talk about education choice.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. So we're a homeschool family, and we love that, and I'm very concerned about what's going on in government schools across the country, and yet there is this group that's very powerful, the teachers' unions and affiliates, that will not allow us to have choice.
I was raised by the teachers' union.
Goodness.
I was raised in a leftist academic family.
Yeah.
Look, I always tell people, look at the control in every liberal position. Look at this. They want to take tax dollars from people of all beliefs to channel everybody's kids like cattle into schools that only teach one side. What can possibly be more controlling than that? I always hear about how controlling Christians are. Christians want to control me. Really? When do Christians take tax dollars from people of all beliefs and set up places where everybody has to go and learn one side? Christians aren't controlling. It's the left that's controlling, and they use education. And by the way, bravo to you for homeschooling. My wife was homeschooled.
Yeah.
They use education as just another way to control people. The left always seeks control. The only way reason you'd ever become a liberal is because you disapprove of others and want to make them live your way. Use everybody's money, put them through your schools. You don't like who has what money? Redistribute it. Move it around. Control. Always control.
This is a fascinating concept. Do you plan, and we've got just about 30 seconds left, Andy Pate, do you plan on actually affiliating people with you who are running for office when you call it the party of choice, or is this just another part of Republicanism?
We have, what we do is we have a 527 and an LLC. Through the LLC, I do have a lot of Republicans who are coming to me wanting help with messaging, and absolutely I offer that.
Terrific. Well, I hope people will visit you online, thepartyofchoice.com. It's been great to meet you, and I've enjoyed our conversation, Andy Pate, the Party of Choice. Thanks.
Thank you.